There is a quiet pattern in the evolution of technology. The most transformative tools rarely arrive with dramatic announcements. They appear quietly, inside web browsers, hidden within research projects, or released as small utilities with surprisingly capable systems behind them. And for a while, most people simply don't notice. Artificial intelligence is following a similar path. While much attention goes to major platforms and well-known applications, a large ecosystem of smaller AI tools has been developing in parallel. Many of them are free. Many solve surprisingly specific problems. And many reveal something deeper about how AI systems are evolving. In this episode, we'll explore a handful of free AI tools that often remain under the radar. Not as product reviews, but as examples of a broader shift. A shift toward tools that quietly extend human capability in small, practical ways. Before looking at individual examples, it's helpful to notice a pattern. Early AI software often tried to do everything. Large interfaces, endless features, complex dashboards. But many of the most interesting tools today are focused. They solve one narrow task extremely well. This specialization reflects a deeper trend in AI development. Instead of building a single universal system, developers are creating small intelligent layers that integrate into existing workflows. In other words, AI is becoming modular. Let's start with a tool that demonstrates this clearly. A platform called Perplexity AI. At first glance, it looks like a search engine. But its behavior is slightly different. Instead of simply returning a list of links, it generates a structured answer based on multiple sources. More importantly, it shows where the information came from. For researchers, students, or curious readers, this subtle design choice changes the experience. You're not just receiving an answer. You're seeing the path behind it. This is one of the quiet improvements AI systems are beginning to offer: transparency. Another interesting example is Gamma. Creating presentations has traditionally involved a repetitive process: structuring slides, formatting layouts, adjusting visual balance. Tools like Gamma reduce much of this friction. Instead of building slides manually, you provide an outline or idea. The system generates a structured presentation automatically. Titles, sections, visual layout. Of course, the results often require refinement, but the time spent assembling structure decreases dramatically. This illustrates a broader role AI is beginning to play, not replacing creative work, but accelerating the scaffolding around it. A third tool worth noting is Runway ML. Video editing has historically required significant technical skill: timeline management, keyframes, color grading. Platforms like Runway introduce AI-assisted editing features that simplify several of these tasks. For example, background removal from video clips can now happen automatically. Previously, this might have required complex compositing techniques. Now it's a single action. Again, the pattern is subtle. AI is compressing multi-step workflows into one or two decisions. For creators working with audio, another interesting platform is Adobe Podcast. Recording clean audio has all required careful equipment setup, microphone placement, sound-treated rooms. But AI-based audio enhancement tools can analyze speech and remove background noise automatically. The result often resembles studio-quality audio, even when recorded in imperfect conditions. This doesn't eliminate the value of professional recording environments, but it lowers the barrier to producing clear voice content. Next, consider something slightly different: knowledge organization. One of the challenges of modern digital life is information overload. Notes accumulate across apps, research becomes scattered, projects span multiple documents. Tools like I approach this problem differently. Instead of forcing users to manually organize everything into folders, the system analyzes connections between notes. It surfaces related ideas automatically. Over time, it begins to behave less like a storage system and more like a contextual memory assistant. This reflects an important shift. AI is increasingly acting as an importer of information, not just a container for it. Another surprisingly useful tool is Remove, BG. At first glance, this may seem trivial: a single-purpose website that removes image backgrounds. But the underlying technology demonstrates a significant advancement. Image segmentation once required skilled editing. Today, a neural network can separate subject from background in seconds. Small tools like this reveal how AI often spreads, not through grand platforms, but through tiny utilities that quietly remove friction from everyday tasks. A similar example appears in transcription tools like Whisper. Speech-to-text systems have existed for years, but recent models have improved dramatically in accuracy and language coverage. Tools based on Whisper can convert long recordings into text with minimal errors. For researchers, journalists, and students, this capability saves hours of manual transcription. And once text exists, it can be summarized, searched, or translated. The value multiplies. Stepping back, these examples reveal a larger pattern. None of these tools are revolutionary on their own, but each one shortens a particular workflow: research, presentation design, video editing, audio cleanup, note organization, image editing, transcription. Individually, the improvement might save minutes, but across an entire week of work, the cumulative effect becomes significant. AI is not always about replacing large systems. Sometimes it simply compresses the time between idea and execution. There is another important pattern worth noticing. Many of these tools rely on the same underlying technologies: large language models, computer vision networks, speech recognition systems. What differs is the interface. Developers take powerful models, then wrap them in focused applications. In this sense, the real innovation often happens at the layer between technology and user experience, how the capability becomes accessible. This is why so many useful AI tools remain relatively unknown. They are not trying to dominate headlines. They are solving narrow problems, and in many cases, the free versions exist to encourage experimentation. People explore the tool, discover what it can do, and gradually integrate it into their workflow. Adoption spreads quietly. For everyday users, this presents an interesting opportunity. Instead of waiting for a single, perfect AI platform, you can assemble a toolkit, a research assistant, an audio enhancer, a presentation generator, a transcription system. Each tool handles a small part of the creative or analytical process. Together, they create a much more efficient environment. It is also worth remembering that these systems are still evolving. Outputs occasionally require editing. Generated structures may need adjustment. AI remains a collaborator, not a final authority. The most effective users treat these tools as assistants rather than replacements. They generate drafts, accelerate repetitive steps, and free up time for more thoughtful work. Seen from this perspective, the real story of AI tools is not about dramatic breakthroughs. It's about quiet capability, small improvements that accumulate across workflows. A few minutes saved here, a repetitive step removed there. Over time, these adjustments reshape how people create, research, and communicate. And perhaps that is the most interesting pattern of all. The future of AI may not arrive as a single transformative moment. It may arrive as hundreds of small utilities, each solving a narrow problem, each slightly improving the rhythm of digital work. Until one day, looking back, the entire process feels different. This is Neural Pulse Lab, exploring the systems behind emerging technology and the quiet innovations that often go unnoticed.